Sip Vinita, Sip Ashok Maheshwari, Sip Leelamani, welcome. Sip Parathiyama, Sip Bliss, Sip Sagai, Sip Rutanu, Sip Sudeep, Sip Rekha, Sip Eru, Sip Rajaratnam, Sip all those who are who are not, I cannot see you. So today we are on to a Friday, which means that I have to speak. And I have to speak to you on a topic. And the topic of today's discussion is, when you give up God, you will get sick. So the first thing people get is a little shock. Why should I give up God? What are you talking? Have you had some whiskey or Johnny Walker, rum? What have you had? Why should I give up God? But people in this call understand. No, there is some logic to it. When you give up God, you will get sick. So today, let us understand this topic, which we have touched briefly in many Zoom sessions, but we have not got into the depth of this topic. Many people wonder what this topic means, right? And today, the wondering will be over. There will be no more wondering. Why should we give up God? Why should I give up God? If I want God, I have no other option. If I want God, I have no other option. I have to give up God. If we don't give up God, we will never realize God. God is not available on Amazon. God is not available in the supermarket. Somebody called me today. A lot of people called me. Today, somebody called me. He said, you don't tell me much about God. You just tell me what I have to ask Google. I will Google. I will Google God. You cannot Google God. No, Google has all the answers. Google has all the answers. So Google may have all the answers, but Google cannot give you what is known as God realization. My dear friends, the only way, why should we give up God? The reason we must give up God is because God is not God. The moment we think of God, a picture comes to our mind. We all believe in a God. I believed in a God for 40 years. And this picture that comes to our mind is not God. In fact, this picture stops us from realizing God. But we don't understand this. This is the problem. I told somebody, Bhagwan, Bhagwan nahi hai. Sach mein to wo ek shakti hai. Unka janam nahi hota. Na unki maut hoti hai. वो तो अनंत अनादि है, वो बेशुमार वो असीम है, उनसे बड़ी कोई शक्ति नहीं, वो ही हम सब की वजह है, वो है इसलिए हम भी हैं, प्रभु पास है. We discovered प्रभु पास है, प्रभु पास है, पास परम अमर अनंत Anadi, Sarva Shakti. We discovered God is Sip. See, even today, we are celebrating the birthday of God. We are celebrating, you all know, every now and then you celebrate the birthday of God. But unfortunately, God is not ever born. God never dies. Even the Atma is birthless and deathless. But when you say God, if I tell Ashok Maheshwari God, if I say Ashok Maheshwari God, you know what Ashok Maheshwari immediately thinks? Krishna, 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 Krishna. If I tell somebody God, they think Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Bliss will say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Somebody says Hanuman, 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 Ganapati. There are Pictures we have in our mind. But God has no picture. God is nameless. God is formless. We have created this form. We have made God into 4 hands and 8 heads. And we have created so many fancy shapes of God. And if you keep on thinking this is God, you will never get God. You will never realize God. So you have to give up God. किसी के लिए वो कृष्णा है, किसी के लिए शिव येसु है, कोई ढूंढे उन्हें मंदिर में, ना जाने के वो अंदर है, वही परम सर्वशक्ति है, वो ना व्यक्ति ना मूर्ति है वो शक्ति जिसकी सीमा नहीं, उनसे ये धरती चलती है, उनकी शक्ति से हर व्यक्ति है, प्रभु पास है, कण कण में है, प्रभु है शक्ति परम शक्ति. The whole world, entire science agrees that this whole universe is energy. The only difference is science says it is energy, spirituality says it is power. Science says it is energy and spirituality says it is power. What is the difference? It is the power. Either you say the power comes from energy or the energy comes from the power. It doesn't matter. But unfortunately, we have been taught as a kid, I was taught God is made of bone and skin. You know, if I continue to believe in my God, I believed in Lord Shiva for 40 years. If I continue believing in Shiva, then if Shiva has heartache, then Shiva will have to call Dr. Devi Shetty. He will need a cardiologist. God will need, suppose God gets heart attack. If God gets heart attack, then what happens? You laugh. How can God get heart attack? Yeah, but if God is made of bone and skin, then God becomes like you and me. But God is birthless and God is deathless. God is the power. There was once an interesting story. I think I told you a few days back. When devotee went to the temple and wished to see God. So he prayed to God and told God, I want to see you. I want to see you. So God said, okay, how to trick this fellow? God told that man, okay, tomorrow you come, I will be in the temple. So the man went out of the temple. Then he came running back. He said, God, tomorrow if I come to the temple, there will be so many people. How will I find you? God said, there will be one man who has no head. Look for the man without the head. So this man came first devotee in the next day. Before the temple gate opened, he was standing and he was watching. Everybody entered. He watched. Head hai ki head nahi hai? Head is there or no head? Head is there, no head. Head is there, no head. Head. Till the last devotee left the temple, he was watching everybody. Everybody had a head. Could not find headless man. At night, he went to God and said, you cheated me. You told me you will see me, you will meet me in the temple. But I saw every single person. I could not find any one person. Everybody I could see head. God asked him, could you see your own head? Could you? He said, how can I see my own head? I can't see my own head. I was seeing everybody else's head. God said, you are the headless man. He said, what do you mean? God said, where am I? I am inside the headless man. Then that man realized, God is inside me. That man got the spark of realization from that day. My dear friends, God is inside you and me. We are looking for God outside. We all want God. We are not able to find God because we are celebrating God's birthday. We think God is somebody who's born, who dies. As long as when we stop believing in God that has a birthday, when we give up these fancy gods, then only you can realize God. Because God is not any of these fancy gods. Many of you think, no, what is the problem? I will pray to Ganapati and still I will realize God. As long as you're praying to Ganapati, you cannot realize God. You have to pray beyond Ganapati. If you keep on praying to Ganapati, I know one man who has got 1,000 Ganapatis in his house. 1,000 Ganapatis. Whenever he goes outside, he'll buy Ganapati. He go to Rameshwaram, Ganapati. Rishikesh, Ganapati. Haridwar, Ganapati. New York, Ganapati. He wants to buy Ganapati. Wherever he goes, he wants to buy Ganapati. As long as we believe in a personal God, we cannot realize God. We will never realize SIP, the supreme immortal power. Therefore, friends, if you want to realize God, you have to realize God is SIP. The most classic example is Ramakrishna. You know, Ramakrishna became Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Paramahansa. Paramahansa means primary, the primary enlightened person. Paramahansa. So how did Ramakrishna become Paramahansa? His guru's name was Totapuri. And Totapuri knew that Ramakrishna was going to be enlightened. But he was so deeply devoted to Kali. So Totapuri convinced him, don't be attached to Kali. In the end, Ramakrishna said, okay, tell me what to do. He said, when you're meditating and Kali comes in front of you, as soon as Kali comes, just like Kali comes as a vision, from your vision, you take out a sword and you cut Kali into pieces. Ramakrishna could not do it. Every time Kali came, he would bow down, he would touch Kali's feet, he would bow down, he would fall in love with Kali. He could not cut Kali into pieces. One day, because he was inspired by his guru, when the Kali came, he took out a sword in his vision and cut Kali into pieces, just in his vision. And that day, he became Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Because this is a symbolic way where he realized Kali is not made of bone and skin. Kali is a Shakti. You can't kill Shakti. You can't put a sword. You know the story. Have I told you all the story of Anal Haq? Have I told you the story? My guru's very famous story of Anal Haq. I think it was Mansoor. Mansoor was I think he was a Sufi. And Mansoor, when he used to get into vision, highest vision, that masti, that ecstasy, he would keep on saying, Anhalak, 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 Anhalak. Anhalak means, I am God, I am Allah. Anhalak, I am Lord, I am the God, I am the God. So one day they told him, Mansoor, what, sir? His shishas told him, his devotees told him, when you are in ecstasy, you are saying, I am God, I am God. What is this? So Mansoor said, no, I cannot tell like this. So they brought 200 people next day. And 200 people, they promised, they swore, yes, Mansoor, you told Analak. He said, no, I don't believe you are. He called his best friend. He called his best friend and said, you tell me when I'm saying, and the best friend of Mansoor told him, yes, you are telling Analak, Analak. So the next day he told, if I say Analak, take a sword and cut my head. If I say Analak, take a sword and cut my head. Next day again he was in ecstasy. He said, Analak, Analak, Analak. They took a sword and they tried to cut his head. And they say the sword was going through his neck and they could not cut. Now this is obviously a story. This is not real. This is an analogy, a story. But the point is this. He said, you can't kill God. You are trying to, if I'm saying Analak, I am not saying, God is saying. The God in me is saying, my dear friends, we have to move forward. Instead of moving forward to realize God, what are we teaching God, children? We are teaching children lies, that God lives in the skies. Huh? Chanda mama, Chanda mama. कौन है वो चंदा वो मेरा वो चंदा मामा है मामा क्या मामा है कौन सा मामा कौन सा चाचा huh? This is the problem. We are teaching children lies. बच्चों को कैसे कोई भक्ति सिखाए प्रभु कौन है उन्हें ये कैसे समझाए जीवन वो है देता ये जग उसने बनाया है. Just teach children this one point. There's the creator of this universe. He created the power. You don't have to teach children lies that God lives in the skies, my dear friends. People seek God. People want God. But they are not mumukshus. Mumukshu. Who's a mumukshu? A mumukshu is one who yearns. Huh? For me, I had a deep yearning. I had a deep yearning for the divine. But this yearning is important. But when this yearning is there, what's the biggest mistake? We get distracted. Even this yearning is there, we don't go and search for God. When you are a mumukshu, when there's deep love and yearning for God, you know what you say? When you want sip so much, you know what you say? When you want sip and you deeply yearn for sip, you say, "Hai ye aastha, mukammal tum hi ho, जीवन में मेरे कोई नहीं हो, कण कण मेरा तुम बस तुम ही हो, और कुछ भी आए जगह नहीं हो, मेरे तन मन में मुकम्मल तुम ही हो, बस एक तुम ही हो, बस एक तुम ही." That day, what somebody, and who told in the call that day? I don't know. Give me, put your hand up. Who said in the call? Ye bhi, wo bhi, sab bhi, Prabhu bhi. Who told in this call? Bliko, Achidananda. Who told? I don't remember who told in this call. I don't remember who told in this call. Somebody said, "Ye, ऐसा क्या चाहिए? ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, सब भी चाहिए, अब सिप भी चाहिए, प्रभु भी चाहिए." I didn't say it. Somebody else told. I don't know who told in this call. But after this question, after the session, please unmute and tell me who is the brilliant person who told this. No, you can't have ye bhi, wo bhi, sab bhi, sip bhi. No. मेरे दिल में बस एक तुम ही हो, तन मन में और कोई नहीं हो, ऐसा हो जाए बस एक तुम ही हो, इतना भर दे के और कुछ नहीं हो. I often sing this to you, right? It's my favorite. It's my favorite. We cannot attain God without religion, but we cannot attain God with religion. We need God. We need God, but we need to give up God. We need God to start our journey. We need religion. But if we stick to religion, we will never realize God. I always give the example of Sudeep. Sudeep's favorite example is the pole vault. This is Sudeep's example. Sudeep will always talk of how when you want to cross over in a pole vault, you have to run with the pole. Without the pole, you can't jump 20 feet, 6 meters. Generally, a pole is 6 meters. You need the pole. You need God. Run, 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 run. Push God down, throw the God, and jump over to sip. Can we do it? Can we do it? If you want the supreme immortal power, sip. If you want to realize God, let go of your personal God. Unless you believe in sip and give up your personal God, you will never realize God is sip. You will never realize God is within. There are many people who are not Advaita. Many people, they are Dvaita. They are even Traita. They say, what they say? They say, no, no. God is different. I am different. God is different. And Jug is different. They are not able to make a realization that everything is sip. So what? They cannot realize God. They cannot realize God. And the ones who believe I am separate, God is separate, Atma is separate, Paramatma, they will never realize God. Cannot. You cannot realize God, my friends. I have not told you this story. Very interesting story. Ramana Maharishi. Girish, have I told the story of Ramana Maharishi? Ramana Maharishi, in his ashram, an Australian came, Australian. And when the Australian came, he told Ramana Maharishi, "Sir, Swami, I heard you are a very powerful Swami." So Ramana Maharishi said, "I am not powerful." No, I have told, everybody told in the world, you are the most powerful Swami. Now you have to show me God. So Ramana Maharishi said, okay, I can show you God. I can show you God, but you cannot see God. Hey, what you're telling like this Australian, he was an intelligent Australian. He was some brain surgeon from Australia. No, you show me God. Ramana Maharishi said, even if I show you God, you cannot see God. No, you show me God. So Ramana Maharishi was sitting. After 5 minutes, Ramana Maharishi erased his finger like this. Erased his finger. That man is watching. That man is watching. He didn't understand. Then Ramana Maharishi did like this. He did like this some 4 or 5 times. And the satsang was over. Satsang over, everybody left. That Australian told, Swami, I'm waiting, Swami. Where is God? Ramana told, I told you, I will show God, but you can't see God. He said, what do you mean? He said, did you see God? No, I saw you moving the finger like this, like this. What are you moving the finger like this, like this? I didn't have to show your finger. I have to show God. Ramana told, you are seeing the finger. Did you see the power that made the finger move? Did you see the power that made the finger move? That man was in awe. He was like this. See, as long as you stick on to your belief that God is in Swarga, in heaven, you cannot realize God is that power. Think about it. What made the finger move? Ramana Maharishi just moved his finger. What is making the finger move like this? It is just the power of God. AV, NP. We all come on the Zoom call every day. We all believe in God, right? But how many of us have Paul Brown? I told AV Paul. We all come on the Zoom call. We all believe in God. But I want to ask you after the session is over, how many of us have given up God? How many of us have given up God? Today you tell me after the session is over. Because if you don't give up God, if you keep on saying Krishna, 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 Shiva, 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 you will not realize God. You can say Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. You have to be able to say, your Krishna. Aham Krishna, Aham Krishna, Aham Krishna, Aham Krishna. Means I am Krishna, I am Krishna, I am. Unless you say that, you cannot. Before I've got the spark of the realization of the truth, I used to ask God. What I used to ask God, Tu kahan hai, tu kaisa hai, ye sawal karte hai nath. Jag ye mane ya na mane, tu to hai janu main nath. Tu kahan, I used to ask God, tu kahan hai, tu kaisa hai. ऐसे भी कई चीजें हैं जो दिखती ना महसूस हम करते रोशनी मिट जाती जैसी बिजली जाए अंधकार हो जैसे बिजली को कोई देख ना सकता शंका पर कोई ना करता तुझ पे लोग क्यों शंका करते तुझ पे लोग क्यों शंका करते तू ना हो तो मर जाते सब सर झुका के मैं जीता. When you switch off the light, do you believe the electricity is gone forever? No. You know, if you switch on the light, light will come on. You can't see the electricity, but you know, you switch off the bulb, bulb is off. Switch on the bulb, light comes on. Why people can't believe that God is there? God is the Shakti. We are not able to realize this, my friends, because we have to start our quest. We have to start our quest. We have to have first self-realization, then God realization. Realizing self is not so difficult. Realizing self is what? I am not the body. It's so simple. Birth, body came later. I was conceived 9 months before. Death, body will die, I will leave. So that's all. That's all. Self-realization over. Self-realization is not difficult. God realization is difficult. Today, ask me questions on God realization. Tell me, have you realized God? You have to go beyond faith and trust. You have to experience God. What do you need? You need anubhuti. Have I not told you the song? Sach ko koi na janta, ye aparoksh anubhuti hai, iska koi sabut na, सच का एहसास होना है, प्रभु तो है हर जगह, वो हमें ना दिखते हैं, उनके बिन तो कुछ भी ना, वो है तो हम सब हैं. Oh, we are only effects. Huh? We are only effects. God is the cause. But have we opened our eyes? Have we realized the truth? Have we opened our eyes, my dear friends? जिसकी आंखें खुल जाती, वो सच का एहसास करता है, परोक्ष नहीं वो है करता, अपरोक्ष अनुभूति पाता है, दुनिया की समझ में बात ये ना आती है, ज्ञानी अनुभूति करता, प्रभु कण कण में है, हर शय में वो है, वो ही तो एक सत्य है, इसका कोई सबूत ना, सच का एहसास होना है. How will you see God everywhere? Sometimes somebody used to ask me, you say Prema Yoga. How can I see my Premi as my goddess? How can I see? I say go beyond the skin. Go beyond the skin. You want Prema Yoga? Prema Yoga is looking at your Premi, as a Devi, looking at the person in your life as a god or a goddess. Can you do it? प्रेमी प्रेमी नहीं है, प्रेमी सच में प्रभु है, जो ये एहसास होता, प्रेम योगा है होता. जब ये एहसास होता तभी प्रेम योगा होता. प्रेमी से प्यार प्यार नहीं है, प्रेमी से प्यार है प्रेम योगा. Can you make your love divine? Can you see God in a little bird that sings a song? Can you see God in a butterfly? Can you see God in a flower? Can you see God everywhere? God is not far away. God is within. But what we have learned, God is in the skies. When will we overcome the lies? When will we realize, Prabhu paas hai, kan kan mein hai, Prabhu hai Shakti, Param Shakti wo hai. God is not a Vyakti, God is the Shakti. My dear friends, today's session was putting together very important points. The goal of life is God realization. God realization comes with self-realization. You cannot have God realization unless you give up God. We all want God. We are trying to find God. We continue to pray to our personal God. The moment, like Ramakrishna, he could not become Ramakrishna Paramahansa until he went beyond Kali. We have to go beyond our personal God. While self-realization will lead to God realization, until you realize God is Sip, until you give up your personal God, you cannot realize God. So this is the message for today. I hope you will ask me questions on this. You all believe in a personal God. How to go beyond the personal God and to experience SIP. Next Friday is one day before Mahashivratri, a festival I have celebrated since the time I was 8 years old. I stay awake all night for the last 40 years on Mahashivratri. On 17th Friday, I will talk about my love story with God. My love story with God. I used to pray to God. Now I pray through God. So that is my love story with God. And this we will talk about next Friday. But today, administrator will unmute you and we will get into the section of question answers. Yes, administrator. Unmute. All. Tanu, Ruth, Tanu, you have to unmute all. No? Mute, you have to mute all. Okay. Ruth, Tanu, sorry. Ruth, Tanu.
Shivoham Guruji.
Shivoham, bolo.
Guruji, my SIP is same as your SIP and all is one.
That's not the point. Have you been able to give up your personal God? Or you still, when God comes in your picture, does Shiva come in front of you?
No, only I can feel the energy. No picture comes in front of me.
Then you're fine. Then you're ready for God realization. If you still believe that, see, let me tell you one thing. 99% of those who are not atheists and agnostics, 99% of the believers think God is either Jesus or Krishna or Shiva or Ganapati or Shirdi Baba or Tirupati or Venkateshwara. No, 99.
I do believe that Guruji is next to God. Closest to God is Guru.
The moment you say Guru is next to God means you will never realize God. For me, my Guru was always God.
Yeah, my Guruji is God.
No, you said Guruji is next to God.
No, Guruji is God.
When I used to see my Guru, I used to see God in my Guru. So for me, my Guru, I wrote a book, read the book. My Guru, my mentor, my God on earth. Okay? Ashok Chotwani.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam.
Sir, before coming on Zoom call, God was God for me. I pray every God. Whatever I learned from childhood. But as I go on the journey of spirituality, I have experienced, I also realized that God is a power which comes at birth and when he departs, we become dead. So now I don't say God. I see SIP in everyone, every human being, and every animal's birds. SIP is everywhere and everything.
Very good. If you realize the SIP is everywhere, then you are ready for God realization. And whether you have realized God, only you know. Nobody else knows. Yes. God realization means being able to see all. Somebody asked me the question only today. How can I know I'm God realized? I said, how many people have hurt you? He said, many. I said, how many can you count? He said, I can count at least 100 from the time I remember. So I started counting in school, in college, in business, my neighbor, my family. I said, stop. The moment you remember all the people who have hurt you means you don't realize.
Actually, sir, Actually, nowadays, I don't feel any hurts or anything. I see he and me, both are one.
No, I'm not telling about you. I'm telling somebody spoke to me. So then I asked them, how many people have you still not forgiven? He said, I have already forgiven 99 out of 100. Only one person I cannot forget. One person I cannot forgive. That person has murdered me. that person has cheated me, has lied to me, has done 420 with me. That person I cannot forgive. Rest of my life, I cannot forgive that one person.
Actually,
So
sir, we have to understand that is his karma. Actually, he and I both are same manifestation of one God.
Good. So you are advanced. He is not yet advanced. That person who spoke to me is not yet advanced. Good, Ashok Chotwani. So who else would like to speak about your God realization, your personal God? Who else would like to ask or say? We have Bala. Yes, Bala. Unmute Bala and speak. Yes, Bala.
प्रणाम गुरुजी.
प्रणाम. बोलो बाला.
जब तक हम लोग पर्सन टेम्पल या जैसे भी हम लोग गणपति गणेश ये चीजों में अटकते हैं, तब तक हम रियलाइज नहीं कर पाते that energy. You cannot feel that energy.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, you cannot feel because either you feel the energy or you feel the personal God. One of the two.
Yeah. So you have to detach from them and come in yourself. So, and when you come in yourself, that time you start realizing that that power is within me, and power is within me. I cannot frame this thing. You have to, what we say, I have this is I myself is alone, and I मनुष्य जन्म मिला है मुझे ये सब कुछ निपटाने के लिए. मतलब जो क्रियाकांड कर्म है, तो वो एनर्जी मुझे बस एक गाइडेंस देती है, and I have to detach in this, what we say, detach from all these things and be in myself.
All that is fine, but not I have to detach. You don't have to. You should realize God as Sip. The only way is to stop praying to God with a name and form.
Yeah.
You have to go beyond. If you are still attached, okay, today is God's birthday, I will make special laddu, I am buying special silk clothes for my God, I am putting new dress for my God. All this holds you back from the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, Bala. So who else? You can move.
And
we are
again attached to getting the samsar, means getting things again. लड्डू बनाना है, करना.
ये अविद्या है ना, ये तो this is avidya. Avidya means ignorance, and when we are caught in ignorance, then we are not enlightened. Then we cannot realize God. This is some of the primary ignorance. Rekha, bolo.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
Thank you, Bala. Rekha.
Sure, ma'am. I have a question that once the ship departs, why it doesn't come back?
Means what?
Means when the ship leaves the body, why the ship does not come back to the body?
Because ship leaves the body, as the soul leaves the body, the ignorance is carried by the me, the mind and the ego. The mind and the ego carries ignorance because it has got karma. Because of ignorance only it creates karma. And it comes back to earth in a rebirth. The ship does not carry any ignorance. Okay, good. Krishna. Unmute Krishna.
Yeah, good evening. So, I have a question. You said self-realization is not God realization. That is one question I have. And the second one is, see, I'm a novice in this group, so I always had this doubt, what is a sip? And I understood, I went back, I understood it is spirituality, spiritual immortal power, I understood. But that is our interpretation of God. For me, I believe in Advaita. My guru is following Advaita, so I don't have a personal God. And for us, the interpretation of God is beyond the limitations of time, space, and object, and all what you say. So it varies. No, you can say God or Sip or whatever, it is the same, right?
Hold on. So first of all, when you follow Advaita, Advaita means what? Advaita means no two. God
No,
and me are not separate. We are one. Correct.
yes, yes,
So when you say God and me are one, that means you and me, we both are one.
yes.
How we
Yes.
both are one?
Because I am the divine, Tattvamasi jo I am that God.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Answer me, how we are one?
He's a creator. I am the created. You said cause and effect. Effect is nothing
Sure.
but the cause.
What you're saying is correct, but you're not answering my question. You are Krishna, I am AiR. We are two or we are one?
I think now we don't understand that oneness, so we are two.
You are saying we are two because you don't have self-realization. Let me
Yeah.
explain to you.
Yeah.
This body that Krishna, you are not Krishna, your name is Krishna.
Right.
Because one day Krishna will die, this body will die, correct?
Yeah.
But you are the soul, you are the Atma, you will leave.
Yes. Yes.
The moment you are the Atma and you will leave, and I am the Atma and I will leave, the
Yes.
two Atmas will be separate or they will become one.
No, it is phase one.
Therefore, this is self-realization. Self-realization is I am not the body, body will die. I am not the mind. Where is the mind? I cannot find.
Right.
I am the soul, S-O-U-L, spark of unique life. This much you understand?
Yes.
This is called self-realization. When you realize, now I'm explaining to you, but it's not about explaining. You have to realize it. The moment you realize this, then when I realize I am soul, you are soul, we are one. Advaita, we are one. That is God realization. And we say SIP. The reason we say SIP is a supreme immortal power. Because supreme immortal power. Because the moment we say Krishna or God, Ganesha or Shiva, the picture comes in front of us. But when we say SIP, no picture comes in front of us.
Right.
That's why we use the word SIP, not for any other reason. SIP is not another picture of God. No, SIP is a spiritual word for the supreme immortal power.
Yes. But
Now
you also said self-realization is not God realization. Is there a difference?
Self-realization is the realization I am not the body, mind, I am the soul.
Okay.
And God realization is the soul is God. Atma is Paramatma. There are two steps, step 1 and step 2. All right. In step 1, I am the soul. And the soul is SIP.
Right.
Then God realization, SIP is the SIP is in all. What is it? I am the soul. The soul is SIP. SIP is in all. I am SIP. What are the 4 words? Unmute Eru or tell me. Eru, you know the 4 words? Who knows the 4 words? I don't want to make a mistake for Krishna. Here, Eru, unmute and say. Yes.
Yeah. So it is ISIS. I am soul.
I am soul.
Soul is SIP.
Soul is SIP.
I am SIP. SIP in all.
So Krishna, ISIS. Please make note of these 4 words. They are self-realization and God realization. ISIS. I am the soul. Soul is SIP. I am SIP. SIP is in all. It came out beautifully in one of the Zoom sessions. So I would like you all to know it without a mistake. I am the soul. Soul is SIP.
Okay.
I am the soul. The soul is SIP. I am SIP. SIP is in all. So the first 2 is self-realization. The second 2 is God realization.
Okay, fine.
I am the soul. Soul is SIP, self-realization. I am SIP. SIP is in all. God realization.
I am soul. Soul is SIP. I am SIP and SIP is in all. Okay.
Correct. So this is from self-realization to God realization. It's just it's just you contemplate on this. Tomorrow you will tell me that I know you contemplate, so you can tell me your feeling tomorrow about it. Yes. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. Krishna.
Sir, as you told that we have to realize that God, we have to understand self first. Who am I?
Realize. We have to realize self.
And this will come through when I know who am I. I'm not
Correct.
this mind. I'm not this body.
Correct.
And further, how can I analyze this thing? Who am I? That whole study of Ramana Maharishi.
No. The way to realize who am I is first, who am I not? First, you realize who am I not?
I am not body, and I'm not ego, and I'm not mind.
Are you the blue T-shirt?
No.
Are you the house in which you are?
No.
Are you the car in which you drive?
No.
Are you the body in which you live?
No.
Are you the mind that you cannot find?
No.
Are you the ego that is telling I?
No.
Are you the potato that's growing outside your house?
No.
Then who are you?
I'm Sip.
No, I am
everyone.
soul. I am the soul. So when you first find out what I am not, then only, that's why in the Upanishad they say koham, 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 who am I? Then the answer comes soham, soham, shivoham, shivoham. Find out who am I. Neti, neti. Neti, neti means I am not the body, I am not the mind. You need to go from neti, neti to tattvamasi. That is the way forward.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So we still have a few more minutes. Who would like to ask questions today? Other administrator wants to close the call. Yes, Rekha. Yes, next question. No view then. Yes, Krishan.
हमें बचपन से सिखाया गया सर, वी आर प्रेइंग फॉर द गॉड राम कृष्णा, और वो हमारे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में है वो चीजें, जो प्रेयर का सिस्टम है वो इतना जल्दी तो वॉश आउट नहीं होगा।
देखिए, जब तक वो वॉश आउट नहीं होंगे आपको प्रभु का एहसास नहीं होगा।
तो वो वॉश आउट करने का
जब तक वो सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को आप साफ नहीं करेंगे, यू कैन नॉट रियलाइज गॉड।
और उसका वे आउट, वो उसका सिंपलेस्ट वे क्या है सर? उसको
सिंपलेस्ट वे इज ISIS. I am soul. Soul is Sip. I am Sip. नहीं, remember इसलिए हमने कोड दिया है, एरू ने आपको कोड पेस्ट किया है। क्यों उसने ऐसा पेस्ट किया है? ISIS याद कर सकते हैं ना? ISIS तो याद कर सकते हैं ना? I am soul. Soul is Sip. I am Sip.
Sip
is in all. इसलिए हम हमेशा ये फॉर्मूला देते हैं। ये फॉर्मूला से काम इजी हो जाता है। We must remember things are very easy with formulas, acronyms. Okay, Vijay Kumar, yes sir.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam.
Guruji, this so many words and acronyms and all these things, don't you think it confuses that simple spiritual practices?
Correct. You are right. But the spiritual enlightenment is not so simple. Then you better, if you read the Upanishads and have you read Vedas?
No.
You read Vedas and come back. Then you tell me which is simpler. This is simpler or Vedas is simpler?
Veda means knowledge.
Have you read the Vedas? How many shlokas are there in the Vedas? You know? Tell me.
Sir, in fact, this if we
how many? Wait. How many shlokas are there in Vedas? Do you know? Huh?
Veda, all these things are the realized people, realized rishis. They uttered, they simplified and made that into books. But who am I is entirely different. We don't require those Vedas, Upanishads to ask who am I.
Then what we need?
Simply live, simply.
Then what we need?
read ourselves. We have to read ourselves.
Correct. You read, that's all. Then you don't need to come on the Zoom call also. You know everything, then because people are coming because they are all learning every day. Then no need of coming on Zoom call, no, Vijay Kumar.
Sir.
Okay. Okay, next question, please. See, so some people, they don't realize that it's not so easy. Is self-realization and God realization an easy subject? It's just like somebody wanting to be an engineer without doing BE. How can you become an engineer without doing BE? How can you become an educationist without doing PhD? You need BA, MA, MPhil. You need the education. Otherwise, you don't know basic grammar. You will not be able to form sentences. So we have to follow a process. The process is Rekha Parvan.
Shubham Mayor.
Shubham Rekha.
I want to make an honest confession.
Yes.
I still have to drop God.
Good. So what, now since you're making the confession, let me ask you, what stops you from not dropping God?
As it is, I think what stops me is like I need a form still, which means I have a.
You don't need a form. The problem with you is you are too much in love with that form.
Yes.
You are too attached to that form.
You're right.
And because you are so attached to your God, you are not able to let go. Just like Ramakrishna was too attached to Kali. Ramakrishna was so attached to Kali, he could not leave Kali. And if he did not leave Kali, he would not realize it.
Yes.
He would never become a Paramahansa.
And now when you sit in silence, you get, you obviously you don't have the form. You can just feel the energy, right?
I don't sit in silence, first of all. I am silence.
Okay, yes.
So I don't have to sit in. So when you sit in silence means one day you're sitting in silence, one day you're sitting in noise, one moment you are silent, you become silence. In that silence, in that consciousness, for me, God is everywhere. I don't see that there's no place where God is not.
That is there.
God is there. For me, there's one dacoit also comes to me. The dacoit also is God. That person is doing dacoiting. That's okay. I can see that the power of SIP inside the dacoit, I can see. But we see SIP everywhere. That's the only way to see everything as a Leela. Everything as Maya. Otherwise, you can't live peacefully. Otherwise, you will go on finding fault with people every day. You cannot forgive. You cannot, you have to see the divine.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, for example, you're attached to Shiva. If you're attached to Shiva, oh, it's impossible. I was attached for 40 years. How could I ever realize God? How could I realize it? If I had not given up, I would never be able to realize.
Yes.
Good. Any more questions? Thank you. Any more questions? Anybody? Any other questions? If not to today's subject, we'll throw it open to any other questions. Anybody before we? Bala wants to ask the question, but anybody else? As I told you, we have another 2, 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Any questions, and then we will close. Yes, Bala.
I just wanted to ask. You and I met through Facebook. Huh? Yeah. Hundreds of people are seeing everywhere. मतलब आपको सब लोग देखते होंगे. अभी हुआ ऐसे कि आपको और मेरा मिलना हुआ. And through you, I got. तब तक मैं आपको पहचानती भी नहीं थी. But as a mediator, my knowledge is increasing day by day through your phone calls and everything. So what is this energy then? And we are so familiar now.
First of all, you're coming on this call because so many people are on Facebook, like you said. How come you clicked and other people did not click?
Yeah, that only I have to tell you why this happens.
You asked Bliko. Bliko was searching from so many years in Canada. Bliko was searching at Blico. Suddenly one day he came on this call. You asked Ashok Maheshwari. Ashok Maheshwari was just going one day in Jaipur, and he found one book in the Karma book in the bookshop in Jaipur. And then he caught that book and he came to me. So how? So, this is because of karma. It is called twin karma. Twin karma means one, your karma of your previous life, and second, your karma of your present life.
Yeah.
You know, some people think it's only past karma. Oh, but what about all your foolish decisions of this life?
Yeah.
Suppose you're going on repeating foolish decisions in this life. Then it's not your past karma, it's your present karma. Some people think, oh, what to do my karma? I am not happy, I'm making wrong decision. Oh, my karma, my karma, my karma, my past karma. No, it is a combination of past karma and present karma. This decides our destiny. So it is your twin karma that brought you onto this call. Now that you're on this call, it is your consciousness that is making you grow in this call and you're feeling value. Everybody doesn't feel value on this call. Like just now, one person came and said, what is the use of all these acronyms? No use. We don't need all these things. We don't need Vedas. We don't need acronym. We don't need anything. Now, everybody has got their own way, no, Bala? So we have to, your frequency is the right frequency. You are in an acceptance frequency. You have switched on and you are switched on the channel and you're getting the signals. If you switch off the channel, then you will not get the signals.
Yeah, that switch on the channel means that is also a supreme this thing.
That is your present karma. That is not your past karma. Your past karma might have brought you on the Zoom call through Facebook. But today, what you're doing is your present karma. It's not your past karma.
And this present karma will decide the journey.
Yes. And if you are able to transcend the karma, then you will be liberated.
Yeah. Guruji, very nice. मतलब इतना अच्छे से आप बताते हो ना, and I'm really fan of yours.
मैं कुछ भी नहीं करता हूँ. मैं तो सिर्फ एक माउथ पीस हूँ. और मेरा मुंह चलता है. बोलने वाला कोई और है. बोलने वाला कोई और है. सिर्फ बोलता है. मैं नहीं बोलता हूँ.
God तो मुंह नहीं चला सकता है ना?
God ही मुंह चला सकता है. गॉड के बगैर, सिप के बगैर कोई भी किसी का मुंह नहीं चल सकता.
वो भी मतलब शरीर बॉडी के स्तर पर नहीं, पर जो एनर्जी आपको मिल रही है, दैट इज गॉड.
रमणा महर्षि फिंगर मूव किया, वो आदमी नहीं समझा ये फिंगर कौन मूव कर रहा है. ये फिंगर तो सिप मूव कर रहा है ना. सिप के बगैर फिंगर मूव हो सकता है? नहीं, सिप के बगैर किसी का फिंगर नहीं मूव हो सकता है.
दैट एनर्जी इज सिप. आई गॉट इट.
अशोक महेश्वरी. Thank you. Ashok Maheshwari, unmute, please. Yes, sir.
This book which I got recently, 3 Peaks of Happiness, and I read about what you have written. Started with nothing, became something, achieved everything, only to realize we are nothing. And I read those 3 pages, and all the books I read and I give away to several people. I'm seeing Almighty through you. Thank you. So well, I've read everything in this. How you started, everything, 3 pages I read first about what you wrote. This wonderful book.
So Ashok is a karma yogi. I told you, Ashok every month he does nothing. What he does, he purchases books from us. Although we are distributing books, he spends all his money, extra money that he has got. He keeps on purchasing books and he distributes to people. This is called karma yoga. Karma yoga means doing God's
AiR, all the people who are taking books, they are very, very happy. They are very, very happy. And this book I'm waiting now. I'm going to get, because in 3 pages, your introduction of your life is amazing. I have no words in English to explain for this.
I'm grateful, Ashok. I'm grateful to all your karma yoga.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Krishna. Thank you, Ashok. Krishna.
So one last question, a short question. It is a continuation of IS. IS, you say, is it the only method? Or, for example, we have heard of the Bhakti saints like Meera and Tulsi Das and all that. So is this the only method or there are other methods also according to you?
there are 4 known methods of yoga: Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. I was blessed with the 5th yoga called Prema Yoga. I discovered the 5th yoga. So, Dhyana Yoga means through people sitting in the mountains for ages. They sit in dhyan till they get the realization. Some people like Mirabai sit in bhakti and they get the realization. Some people like Mother Teresa, they do seva and they get the realization. Some people like Vivekananda through Jnana Yoga gets the spark. And I believe that through Prema Yoga, if you can see divine in your beloved, if you can see divine everywhere, you can attain God. Now the point is this. These are yoga. These are methods of yoga. What do these methods of yoga lead you to? These yogic methods lead you to ISIS. It is through that bhakti you will realize I am soul, soul is sip, I am sip, sip in all. Ultimately, you have to reach this point. This is the destination.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you. So we are going to close. Last 1 or 2 questions. I'm going to close. Anybody? Last 1 or 2 questions? AV, 1 or 2 new people. So, my dear friends, since today the administration doesn't permit me to speak more than 1 hour, and today we have crossed more than 1 hour. The ultimate goal of life, is God realization. And God realization comes with self-realization. And self-realization will take you to the point. But if you don't drop your personal God, if you keep on seeing God with the Basuri, if you keep on seeing God on the cross, you keep on seeing God in Kailasha, you keep on seeing God in Vrindavan, you will never realize God. If you want to realize God, you have to drop this image of God. Because God is beyond an image. God is beyond a form. My dear friends, this is very important. And my goal is to help you reach your goal. See, most people in this world, we live and we die. We don't realize who am I. And somebody was asking me how many days we have to live. We don't even realize we have only few thousand days to go. We have few hundred weeks. And then we have to go. And if you don't realize this is just a show, then you will return. You will be reborn as Mary or John. And this will go on and on. And imagine you come as, woo, 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 woo. If I come back as a dog, then what happens? Then from a dog, I may become a lizard. Huh? Girgit, you know Girgit? Girgit means the one who can change colors. Then I will change, keep on changing, not colors, but I will keep on changing bodies. I will change from one body to another body, to another body, to another body. That is what Ashok Maheshwari tells me. Ashok Maheshwari tells me, moksha, enlightenment, nirvana. I want to be one with God. I want to be one with God. I want nothing else. That's all. Every time I meet Ashok Maheshwari, he will only tell me, men, M-E-N, moksha, enlightenment, nirvana. That's his favorite book. Men, men, men. Huh? So, my dear friends, this is our goal, to realize we are the divine soul. ISIS. Today we came back. I am the soul. Soul is sip. I am sip. Sip is in all. Such a simple thing. But the most simple thing like this, people for hundreds and hundreds of janmas, they can't realize this simple truth. Let us pray that today, to the sip, to divine, that we realize this truth. And for all of you to come regularly every day on this call with so much devotion, so much bhakti, so much patience. I bow down to all the sip in all of you. All of you are manifestations of sip, and I bow down to you. And may the sip in you be realized by you. I bow down to you.